Great. Okay, so you've got some movement back in it. We'll start with some neck mobilization just to free it up as well. Great. All right, just going to put you on mute. We've got a little acoustic guitar vibe this morning, so just sharing the sound. Okay, can you hear me okay over the top of the music? Yeah, great. All right, so let's do some little rolls with our shoulders. So if you can bring them up to your ears, squeeze and press down. And kind of put your chest into it as well. So you're going to open and then round and look up as you open and look down as you round. And 2 more. A bit of crunching going on this side of the screen. And let's drop the head. So you're going to lean to one side and then move to the middle. And the other way. And do it again. So you drop down. And then bringing the hands up. Notice one palm is face up and the other one is palm down. We're going to turn and look over the shoulder of the hand that's down. Twist as far as we can go. And then rotate the hands the other way. And twist the head and keep going until you hit that sort of resistance spot. And then do it again. So turn just through with your head. And the other side, so you're mobilizing the rotation muscles around the neck. And one more each way. So final one. And then taking the feet a bit wider, softening the knees, and we're going to lean off to the side and sweep round to the front. Let's do that again. So lean and then sweep around. And again, lean and sweep. And one more on each side. Taking the arms wide, we're going to bring the knee in and out, testing balance. Think of lengthening your posture as you do it. Try and get a bit more height now on the leg, bigger movement, mobilizing aches around the hip. And change legs. That'll be optional. Can you make it bigger? Lengthening up through the crown of the head. And taking the feet wide, we're going to bend the knee, push the tailbone back. And drop the shoulder and hold for 3, 2, 1. So again, bend and then drop the shoulder and turn and look up behind you. And do it again. One more on each side. So final one. And then bringing your feet closer together. And we're going to circle the arms, big sweep with the arms. Adding a rise onto the tiptoes and then down. And reversing. Big scoop with the arm. Mobilizing the shoulders, opening the fingers. Alrighty, and then from there, if you can open the feet, so you've got a little bit of turnout in the toes. We're going to drop down into a plie and hold for 3, 2, 1, and release. Let's do that again. Open for 3, 2, 1, and release. And as you do it, push your knees back. 2, 1, and try to keep your tailbone tucked under as you come down. If you like, take the arms up over the head and then open. Let's do that again. Hold for 3, 2, 1, and 2 more. So final one. Alrighty, let's find a stick and we're going to mobilize our shoulders a little more. So going back and then 2. Breathing in as we go back, breathing out as we come forwards. Now you can either stick with this version or we're going to go all around the world and then back the other way. See if you can keep your arms straight as you do it. Last couple. So final one. Alrighty, so joints a little more oiled. Let's come down and do some mat work. So if you can join me down onto the back. Okay, so fingertips down into the curve of the back. If you can pull your belly button muscle in. I'm going to bring our knees up, up, and then down, down. So we're going to point the toes as we come up. Relax the feet when they're down. Either sticking with this level or bringing both legs up at the same time for next level. For third level, we're going to hold and extend. So choose your level, keep pointing your toes. We're going to do that 4 more times. Alrighty, last one. Bend your knees. We're going to open and circle. So big circle with the knees. And reverse. Okay, good blood flow around the hip joints. And last couple. Alrighty, can you flip over onto all fours? Hooking the toes underneath. Meet me in the downward dog. So if you can lift your bottom in the air, feet back, and press down through your heels. Notice what your calves are saying today. I know I've been doing a steps challenge this month and up in the game a bit. Alrighty, from here we're going to transition either to the knees or you can go from your toes and let your chest lead the way as you come down into a half press. Then from there, I'm going to add a cobra. So breathing in, chin up, squeeze the glutes to support the back, and then coming back down. Transitioning into our downward dog, either from your toes or your knees, depending on what feels appropriate for your body today. Holding the downward dog, deep breath, and then switching into our press and moving through into cobra. Holding up the top for 3, pointing the toes quite firmly and coming back down. So switching through into our downward dog. We're going to press the heels down and breathe. Alrighty, switching through again into our cobra. Switching through into our downward dog. Hold, breathe. Into the press. We're going to do it twice more. Switching to cobra. Holding at the top for 3. Pointing the toes, pushing the ground away. And moving back into our downward dog. Pressing down, pressing out through the heels. So if we can do that just one more time. Alrighty, so finding the downward dog, hold, breathe, and then let's take a walk with our feet towards our hands. Can you do it with straight legs? And coming down onto the back again. Opposite arm and leg for our Pilates single leg stretch next. Level 1 here. Level 2, hovering the knees just above the hip. Make sure you've got good activation in your core and it feels safe for your back. Level 3, we do it with straight legs. And we're going to point the toes on the way out and then flex the feet when we're in. So pointy and then flex and really extend right down into your big toe. Quite firmly. It will really help to activate more muscle in the leg. So last couple. Final one. And then from there, just give your knees a bit of a cuddle, knees to your chest. And we're going to keep our right knee hugged in and extend the other leg long. Bring your foot across your body. Tap the floor and press the knee down with a hand, trailing the other arm behind. Can you get the back hand just above your shoulder line? Looking behind the shoulder. Breathe. Alrighty, let's release and we'll switch over to the other side. So knee up to your chest. And the foot across and down. Trailing the other arm behind, looking towards the back arm. Breathe. Alrighty, so we're going to use this leg to rock ourselves up to a seated position. And let's come up to standing for some lunges. Sunny day out there, so if you can get a big space between your feet, tiptoe on your back foot, we're going to tuck the tailbone under and just sink down into a basic lunge. So we're going to hold and then release. So straight leg at the front and then drop again, bringing the palms together in front like this. Straighten your back leg out. And release. Let's do that again. So coming down, palms together at the front. Can you straighten your back leg out? For more advanced, if your back's happy, arms coming up, arching back, leaning. Eye gaze up to test the balance. Can you get your arms back by your ears? And let's release and give that a go on the other side. So basic lunge to start with. Be mindful of your back. Tuck your tailbone under. Hold and breathe. Wobbling optional. And let's do that again. So coming up. And bend your knee. Aim your knee towards your smaller toes. So just have a glance at that knee. And then bringing the hands together in front. Can you straighten out through your back leg? And release. Let's do that again. So coming down, tuck your tailbone under, palms together. Can you straighten out the back leg? More advanced option, arms back like this. Leaning back, eye gaze up. Breathe. Alrighty, let's release and give the legs a shake out there. Alrighty, so come down to a seated position. Now you might need either a strap or a weight depending on your level. So we'll do 3 different levels as we move into doing some curls. So we'll be seated to start with. So if it's tricky to get up and down, you can park the band under your feet and use that to lever yourself down and back up. If you've got stronger abs and you're here, do it hands-free. Try to lead the movement up with your chest rather than your head. So think of your breastbone coming up and down. Or for more advanced level, we take the weight over the head, arms back by the ears. Inhaling as you come down, exhaling as you lift. So I'd like you to do it 4 more times. Eye gaze up to the ceiling helps to keep the head in a better alignment. So finishing off, last couple. Alrighty, so just doing 1 more. And then on your final one, if you can lay down onto your back, we'll give our abs a stretch. So interlacing fingers, lengthening the arms and point your toes. Feet together, arching back. Just close your eyes and breathe into your belly. Keep lengthening the arms, breathing into your belly. more deep breath. Alrighty, well done. So next up, moving on to our front, and we're going to need a stick. So if you can pop your stick just here above your head, and I want you to do this with your arms. So you go a little bit wider than your elbow. I'm working at pulling the shoulder blades down. So this is really about stabilizing our shoulder blades. So I want you to just hover the stick and pull on it like you're trying to pull the stick apart and then release down. So initially, just that action. Hips are weighted down, the head is on the floor. We're just going to pull, squeeze the blades and then release. Level 2, we're going to squeeze the buttocks and lift the chest, pulling the stick apart and then coming back down. So conditioning and strength for the back. So we come up, pull, 2, 3, and then lower. Now, if you're free from back injury and feel strong in your back, then more advanced level, we hover both legs and back down. But if your back's a bit vulnerable, you might stick with a level 1 or 2. We're going to do it 3 more times. So doing the level that's appropriate for you today. 2, 1, and lower. And do it again. Pull, 2, 3, and lower. So last one. Hold, 2, 3, and release. Alrighty, from here, we're going to sit back and move into a groin stretch. So the knees are open, the feet are together. We're going to push the bottom back towards the heels, sliding the elbows slightly forward, and the eye gaze is up. So we just want to sink the hips down, give into gravity, opening the groin, stretching, breathe. Staying there for another breath, really sink into the hips. Alrighty, let's turn the toes out now. And we're going to open the feet slightly. So the feet are more open, and then we just sit back a little further. Alrighty, let's release off. Next up, we're seated with our feet open. So I want you to go as wide as feels appropriate. Try and sit yourself up onto your sitting bones. Now, if you need a block or a wedge, something just to help you sit a bit more upright, that can help on this one. Try not to let the legs roll in like that. Think of rotating outwards. And I want you to point your toes quite firmly. Flex. Take hold of your foot or your shin, whatever you can get hold of there. And then leaning, pulling this arm back by the ear and try to straighten that. So if you can see yourself in your screen, try to, that's it, extend the limb. So we point the toes when we're here, and then hold what we can get hold of, and then lean. Holding in that uncomfortable spot for about 3 seconds. Breathe in as we come up, hook in the mic, and then breathe out as we lean. So again, inhale, lift, and exhale and lean. Now can we go a bit further, more advanced? We think of really getting the ear down to meet the knee. Hello, knee. I'm going to do that 4 more times, going just that little bit further now. Holding down for 3, 2, 1, and back up. So 2 more, nearly there. And final one. Alrighty, well done. Resting up. So let's find some weights. We're going to do some work for our arms and our upper body. So if you can grab some weights, and we'll do some squat technique. So if you can have your weights in your hands, think of pulling your elbows back and your shoulders down. We're We're going to have the feet just slightly wider than the hip as we slide the weight forwards and come back in. So we're going to hold down for 3, 2, 1, and release. Do it again. Hold down for 3, 2, 1, and release. So as you slide the weight forward, try to keep opening the chest and press the blades down. The next level, we add more height in the arms. So the hands are now above the shoulder. The tougher option, notice my arms are back by the ear. And we want to keep the body weight back in the heels. So we're going to do that 3 more times, holding each one for 3 seconds. So last couple, getting some core activation. And final one. And let's release. Give the legs a shake. Can you find your stick again? We're going to use it to monitor posture as we go into a quad stretch. So holding the foot, heel to the bottom, push the hip bones forwards. Breathe. Now once you've got your balance steady, see if you can lean your body. So we're going onto the horizontal. And get your back leg on the horizontal. And then for more advanced option, we add some lift in the leg and get some height there. Can we transition without too much wobble? Let's give that a go on the other side. So being upright to begin with. Can we feel the inner thighs touching? Feel for the heel on the bottom. And then once you've got that, see if you can add the forward lean. The next level, you get your upper body horizontal and your thigh horizontal while you still keep your heel on your bottom. For more advanced, we add some lift in the back leg. Breathe. Let's release. Switching legs again, but this time bringing the knee up in front of the hip. Can we extend the leg without dropping the thigh bone? Hold for 3, 2, 1, folding back in, and switch to the other side. So knee up to hip height. Can you keep the thigh bone at hip height and reach into your toes? Holding for 3, 2, 1, so stamina building in the leg. Let's do that again on the other side. Can we get a bit more height on the knee this time? As you extend, really reach into your toes. Can you feel your big toe? Reach into your little toes. Bending back in, coming back down. One more on the other side. Feel your big toes. Extend, reach into your little toes. Bending back in and coming back down, and give your legs a shake. Now if you like, you can pop some ankle weights on for this next one. We're going to move down into a sideline position. So we'll work on some oysters next. So adding some weight in if you like. Again, we'll do 3 different levels. So choose a level that feels appropriate for you today. If you need a drink, now's a good time just to have a sip of water. Let's keep topped up on the hydration. Put some lemon and ginger in the teapot last night, so quite refreshing. Okay, so trying to commit to 1 fresh herbal tea a day since I got back from Poland, my new mini habit. All right, so knees up in front of your hips. We're going to use the stick behind to monitor alignment. Before you start to move, get a little bit of lift in your waistline. So try and commit to keeping height in your waist as you hover your top leg, and then we're going to keep it hovered throughout the set. So rolling the knee back, pointing the toes, and then flexing the feet as we hover the top leg. So pointing and then opening, first level. Second level, we add some extension. So we're going to reach the toes up to the ceiling, control the leg on the way down, and then let's do that again. So we point, open the knee, reach through the toes, and then come back down. So that's level number 2. For third level today, we're adding in a side plank. So we come up onto the bottom elbow as we keep going with the leg. So strengthening side of the body through the shoulder. And can we do 2 more? And final one. Alrighty, let's rest off and give that a go on the other side. So head, shoulders, tailbone on the stick, knees up in front of the hip. And let's concentrate on getting that lift in the waistline first. Pointy toes as we open the knee. And then flex the feet as we hover the leg. Don't let that leg drop. Common for this top hip as well to wander off backwards as you open the knee. You'll get much more out of it if you can keep that top hip forwards and steady. Level 2, we're adding in our reach. Now is the stick still attached to the head, to the shoulders, to the tailbone? Checking in on posture. We're still lifting in the waistline. Third level, more advanced, as long as we've got happy neck and shoulders. Adding some load into the arm and shoulder. So we lift and squeeze and make a fist on the bottom hand as you do it. So last couple. And final one. Alrighty, let's release. Come over onto our backs and take a little glute stretch. So right leg over left, hands around the back of the thigh. We'll use the hands to pull in, using the elbow to push out. Breathe. Alrighty, let's give that a go on the other side. So left over right. Hands around the back of the thigh, use the elbow to push out. Deep breath. Alrighty, so we're going to need a stick again. Let's move over to all fours. We're going to do the Superman, Superwoman, Superperson. All fours. Keep your leg weights on if that's appropriate level for you today. And we want just a knuckle full of space here in the curve of the lower back. Now I find if I push my stick a bit higher up my head, that tends to keep it on. And the aim of the game is to lengthen the leg a bit whilst keeping the stick in place, which is a kind of measure and test of our core stability. We change to the other leg, lift it up, hold. Just about 3 seconds, pointing the toes quite firmly. And we take the opposite arm away from the leg for level 2. You get your arm up by your ear. For level 3, we're going to hold at the top. And we're going to aim to fold without dropping the thigh bone. Flexing the foot, reaching the toes out. Let's give that a go on the other side. That 4 more times. So last couple. Stick, giving me stick. Still stick doing. Final one. Alrighty, let's release off. And from here, let's move into some side kicks. So head down on your bottom arm. If you can get your knuckles and lower back together again. We want to get the hips sort of almost teetering a bit. So we want them stacked one above the other, hovering through with the top leg for first level. And really it's about keeping good height on the waistline rather than a big lift in the leg. If it's easy to lift the leg, then maybe adding a weight in so that we work more on strength conditioning. Level 2, we add the bottom leg. We're going to hold both legs off the ground. Press your heels together for 3 seconds, flexing the feet and coming down. So pointy toes on the lift. Squeeze the bottom leg up so it's now off the floor, heels touched. Flex the feet and then come down. So level 3, we're going to hover both legs at the same time, and then we're going to split the leg. One goes forward and then the other one goes backwards. We flex and then come down. So third option, keeping the waistline lifted as we float both the legs off the ground, splitting forwards and backwards, and the other way, and then lower. Can we keep the upper body steady as we work on the legs? It's got easy without a weight, try it with a weight. We do have some leg weights in stock. All right, so let's do one more and then we'll give that a go on the other side. Oh, getting a bit of a sweat on here. All right, let's give that a go on the other side. So great for building posture in our backs, working on our core and our leg stamina. So again, lots of lift in the waistline. We're going to hover through the top leg. Now, how steady is that top hip? We keep the waistline off the ground as we keep the hips stacked and steady. Next level, we add that squeeze with the bottom leg. So we hold, 3, 2, 1, flexing the feet on the way down, and then pointing the toes on the way up. Now, it's really common, particularly if our core control needs work, that our back will go into overarch as we add that second leg in. So tune in to the lower back. Are we keeping good length in the lower part of the spine? Have a feel of what's going on there. If it's good and we can keep that good positioning, then level 3, we hover both legs, split forward, split back, keeping the upper body nice and steady. Both legs together, pointing the toes, adding the split. I'm going to do that twice more. Breathe. So final one. Alrighty, let's rest off. So if you're using ankle weights, let's pop those off. And now's a good time to top up on some water. So have another drink. Up to standing for some yoga stretch. So up we come. Alrighty, so into our triangle pose. Let's go wide with our feet. And we're going to turn the toes out over this side and then angle in it here at 45 degrees. Switching the hip, sliding the hand down the shin. We're going to go long with our top arm, bring our shoulder blades down away from our ears, just letting the head drop to open the side with the neck, bringing the head back. And we're going to turn our head. Can we line our nose end up with our hand? Here, we bend into the knee and just place the hand behind the foot. Sweep this arm over on the horizontal. Really reach and straighten that arm. And then turning the back foot, so we're now going to bring our hand to the other side of the foot. And we're going to keep turning We now face the opposite way, pushing the ground away with the inside hand. Eye gaze up. We line our nose up with our hand on this side. Breathe into gravity with the hip. Let's bring that top hand down, and we're going to take a walk with our hands in towards the middle of the feet like this. And we're going to go as wide as we feel it's appropriate with our feet. And then walking the hands in towards the middle of the feet, letting the head drop and just taking a different view on the world as the head drops down. Alrighty, let's wriggle our feet back in, bending the legs, and we're going to come up to standing, turning out again for our triangle pose over this side. So we want to angle this back foot in at 45 degrees, sliding the hand down the shin and going long with the top arm. You stack your arms, your shoulders one above each other. Turn your head so you look up towards your hand. Line your nose up with your fingers. Is it any different to the other side? Breathe. Bending the knee, placing the hand just behind the foot, and then bringing this arm over so it's horizontal. Can you reach your fingers? Really extend, that's it. And then we're going to keep turning, bringing that hand down, swap. We place pressure into that hand as we turn and lengthen the arm up to the ceiling, pushing the ground away with the bottom arm, dropping the hips, giving in to gravity. Now our back knee just to sit on the ground, and we're going to come up right, so we've got our shoulders above our hips, and if we can unhook that back foot and go long with the arms, just really sinking the hips down. Now you can either stay with this version or more advanced level. I'm going to take hold of the foot behind, heel towards the bottom, breathe. Let's release off, and we're going to come to a kneeling posture. Remember which foot was at the front, and then from here we're going to lean back, bringing the hands behind us and pushing the hip bones up, arching back with the head. Breathe. With this version, if you've got knee trouble at all, you can do a standing quadricep stretch. Or for more advanced now, we're going to lower down because our back's happy onto the elbows. Push the hip bones up. So we'll just repeat again. Breathe, finding your level. Alrighty, let's release, coming up. And then from here, bringing our other foot to the front. So we want quite a decent space between the foot at the front and the back knee. And we drop the hips down, lengthening the arms. For more advanced, I'm going to hover through the back leg. It's always good to have a bit of padding on that back knee. Heel towards the bottom. Breathe. And let's release. And we're going to come down onto our backs. Placing the hands on top of the belly. Just closing the eyes. Deep breath. You exhale longer than you breathe in. Letting your breathing settle to its natural rhythm. taking a moment to appreciate the exercise, the effort that you put into the exercise. Taking a moment to kind of thank your limbs for being able to do the exercise. Just thinking about how things that you've done today and the little mini decision you've made to get the exercise done has influenced your bigger picture of flexibility, mobility, core strength, posture, energy. How your efforts add up to sharing that energy with other people around you. And we're going to open our eyes. Roll the knees to one side. We'll take a little stretch for our neck just before we check in. So if you can come up to standing, and we're going to place the hand, excuse me, place the hand just here on the top of the head. We're going to turn so the chin goes down in towards the armpit, and then a gentle press at the back of the head, tucking the chin in to the armpit there. Let's release, and we're going to do that on the other side. So hand around the back of the skull, chin in, applying pressure down. Breathe. And let's release. So I'll just take a moment just to stop the share of the sounds. If you can hit your unmute for me today. How are we feeling, Ali?